All right, now that I'm home from work, uh, earlier I'd posted on Facebook that once I get home, I was going to start calling people out on social media. Now, I'm not talking about people that I'm following because they're just trying to live their lives and, in peace and all that stuff. They're posting their interests and stuff like that. So I'm not calling them out. I'm calling out all these people. I don't care if you're a leftist or a rightist. You all are making things way more worse and complicated than things that already are. We've got to get this. We've got to pull ourselves together, and uh, there is a group of young people that need to realize and understand how valuable life is, because life is short, life is fragile, and you all. Okay, for example, you don't have to like Charlie Kirk. You don't have to like President Trump. You don't have to like this. You don't have to like that. But to uh, get on social media and act like a bunch of satanic, demonic pieces of shits about Charlie Kirk being assassinated like he did, like he was, uh, you've shown how bad society has gotten. You have no moral values whatsoever. And I do blame a lot of it on Hollywood today and TV shows not being family friendly anymore. Uh, of course, I blame the politicians, both parties. I blame the news media. They're keeping the division going. Uh, and there is people that are mentally ill. Um, for example, there's a bunch of you who have kids and you are enabling them to identify as an animal, which makes you moronic because you're not an animal. You're a human being, a person, a self aware person who just needs the correct education and correct discipline. Otherwise, you grow up to be a spoiled, rotten, brat, punk ass bitch person who goes unhinged and goes flying off the handles when you try to point out how wrong they are and they think they're right. So you got a group of people who still live in La La Land. They can't seem to differentiate between fantasy and reality. Now, yes, when I was a kid, I did use my imagination a lot. I played with my toys. I used my imagination, but I didn't have parents telling me, "Oh yeah, you're actually a cat or you're a dog in real life," and then send me to school and I'm doing this, and then the teacher says, "Can you answer the question?" And you just say, "Ruff ruff 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 ruff" or "meow." You see how ridiculous that looks? Then you got some of these parents again enabling pushing this animal agenda onto them that they identify as an animal. They're out there playing some kind of sport, like for example, I've heard of one called flag football, uh, but it's all a bunch of kids who think they're cats. You got parents out there with legit litter boxes for their cat child to go potty in right out in the open in front of everybody. And then I hear, I don't know how truthful it is, but I heard that the referee has to clean it up. You see how ridiculous this sounds. You all can hate bash me on this all you want, but it's ridiculous. Um, but yeah, this is what I'm getting to. Stop the hate. Stop the hate. Those of you who are spreading the hate just because you didn't like Charlie Kirk. Did your parents not love you? Did they not show you love? Let me guess. Are you one of those kids that grew up in a home where maybe both parents were working and you were being raised by a nanny from one of those website things like they do with their animal pets? But usually this is with rich people. because they got a busy schedule on their hands because they're all about making that money. But yet they go out of their way to have pets at home when they really barely have time for them. So they hire these people to come take care of them while they're gone. But yeah, is that what happened? I mean, I'm trying to wrap my mind around this because it's just so ridiculous. Because we didn't have that shit when I was growing up in my day. And no, there was no such thing as trans kids. Because when I was a kid in the 80s and 90s, that term never, ever came up. So go fuck yourself with your there's always been trans kids shit. Fuck you. No, there wasn't. And why are teachers today pushing this agenda on kids to make them confused about which gender they are? They didn't do that when I was in school. But why are they doing it now? Who's paying them to do that? It's got to be George Soros because he's an asshole prick. Yeah, just stop the hate. Just stop. For one, those of you who are expressing your hate of Charlie Kirk and Trump, it's because you don't like them, which, okay, you have the right to. But to constantly be on social media, just constantly making videos about how much you hate them, it does get on my nerves. And I'm trying to I'm out of this whole political environment that I was in. But now that I realize both parties have had developed this environment where we see them on TV or on social media videos where they're yelling back and forth at each other, but then behind closed doors, when there's no video cameras running, they're a bunch of butt buddies. Yeah, they're probably all having butt sex with each other, when no one's looking and no one's recording. That's a lot of reasons why I think why Hillary Clinton's not locked up and why Obama's not going to get locked up and so on and so forth. Because in reality, they're all buddies. They just pretend to hate each other. It's all theatrics is basically what it is. So stop listening to your politicians. I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican. Stop listening to your politicians. They are trying to keep us divided. They don't care about us. Neither one of them. They're all about making money. That's what happened. That's why they don't see that they work for us, even though originally this is what the country was founded on. Our government was supposed to work for us. They're supposed to work for us. But no, they've lost that. They've become immoral. They just want to be rich. It's all greed. It's all about greed. Yeah, it would be nice if I had a lot of money, but the way I was raised, I don't let money run my life. I can live without it. I mean, I can't, but I would, given the choice. But, I got accumulation of Transformers and some Sailor Moon stuff that I've collected over the recent years. Like, see? Now, I can't go homeless, living in a tent with all this and clothes, hygiene supplies, bed stuff. There's no way, Then you got people out there who like to steal. They want what you have instead of going to getting a job. And so, yeah, I could live without money, but with all the stuff that I got, I'd rather keep it in my apartment than in a tent where it can easily be stolen. Just stop listening to politicians. Stop listening to both politicians on both parties. They're trying to get us to fight. They want a civil war. Both parties do. And then stop listening to news reporters. All they care about is expressing their opinion on what they believe the facts are when it's not always true. But they are being paid to help with the division. And you know what? America was fine until Obama became president. I don't have a problem if a black man became a president, but this is the thing. His name is Barack Obama. We've already established the fact that he's a Muslim, I think. And so not only did you vote a Muslim in, a Muslim who wants to destroy America and its culture. Look what Omar wants to do. She's Somalian, and I don't know what whack jobs voted her in to the position she's at, but again, she's clearly, she hates America, but yet she came here to get a better life, but yet she wants to trash it. She wants to talk trash it. She wants to bitch and complain. And you know what? I'm getting sick of seeing white supremacy and Nazi fascists and even making racial slurs of black people. We've got to get out of this World War II lingo crap. It's stupid. It's a waste of time. You know what I've come to find out too, especially left-wing people who make videos constantly complaining about Trump or Elon or Charlie Kirk. All you're doing is you're showing your bitterness. You're bitter. Why don't we start making videos of something else? Let's talk about something else other than stupid ass politics. Why don't we discuss like, hey, did you see this movie? I liked it. What do you think? You know, we can have those kind of discussions. Or, hey, did you like that Japanese anime? Or, what Transformer do you like? Or, or Star Trek or Star Wars. I don't know. Just something else. We've got to stop with the hate and the division and stop trying to talk over each other and just listen, but without getting unhinged. But I know half of you are not going to listen. And if I were you, I would get out of college or don't even enroll in college. You're already seeing what's going on. The teachers there are brainwashing people. And if they can brainwash you so easily, then you're weak-minded. And those of you who, I'm not talking about the people who are disabled and are on disability, but people who are able-bodied but are just too fucking lazy to go get a job. What was I going to say? Yeah, you're just going to have to get off your lazy ass and go work. I mean, I don't like going off to a place to work, but you have to. How are you going to make ends meet? I'm talking to those who are on disability but are not disabled. But basically what I'm trying to tell you is you've become so institutionalized on being dependent on the government that you don't know how to get off your lazy ass and go work. I hope you heard this. You are institutionalized, dependent on the government. You need to get out of that.